Hi, my name is Silva, and this is my capstone presentation. My project is entitled Waves of Insight, Tracking Recreational Boating Behavior with AIS in the San Juan Archipelago. Before we get started here, I wanted to take time to acknowledge the Coast Salish people of this land and the waters that I studied. So, eelgrass is declining at several sites throughout the San Juan Archipelago. The Department of Natural Resources recently published a study showing the long-term versus short-term trends in the San Juan Islands for eelgrass abundance. So, as you can see here in both long and short-term trends, the vast majority of sites are showing a consistent decline. Although the reason for this decline is multifaceted, like many environmental issues often are, one potential cause for this decline could be recreational boating. Now, boating causes eelgrass decline through propeller damage, sediment disruption, pollution, and overall this physical disturbance of the fragile habitats. In order to assess the validity of this claim, the first step that we need to take is to evaluate a method of effectively tracking boating patterns. One method that has shown great promise is Automatic Identification System, or AIS. This is a tracking system that's used on ships and vessels to automatically transmit and receive real-time information, including location, length, width, speed, and some other details. This helps to enhance maritime safety and vessel management. So we had two overall questions driving this project. The first is regarding specifically vessel distribution throughout the San Juan archipelago and some potential factors that can influence these patterns. And our second question is regarding AIS as a research tool. So we wanted to make an assessment of the overall benefits and limitations of using a tool like this. This summer, I was granted the opportunity to work with Friday Harbor Labs. In our work there, we had three primary research methods. We conducted literature reviews to help us create a methodology to track boating behaviors. And we also interviewed Professor and Lummi Elder Tim Ballou from the Northwest Indian College, as well as Jeff Dwyer, who has spent his entire life and career dedicated to boating with experience in both recreational and commercial vessels. We obtained all of our data from Access AIS and Marine Traffic, which are platforms that use AIS data to track and report vessels worldwide. As you can see here on Figure 2, this is a summary table that shows you boat occupancy in the San Juan Archipelago from 2019 to 2023. So this data shows you a boat count for every hour of every day from the past 5 years. So there's a lot of data and a ton of interesting patterns to see here. You can pretty clearly see that there are 5 distinct increases that show you the annual boating season. So every year there's this cyclical pattern with a consistent increase in the spring and summer months, followed by a decrease in the fall. Some of these outlier peaks likely correspond to summer holidays in the US, such as Memorial Day at the end of May, the 4th of July, and Labor Day at the beginning of September. Going back to the cyclical pattern, the partial exception to this is 2020. So if you can see, the 2020 peak almost looks to be slightly thinner than a lot of the other boating seasons, showing an initial delay that was likely due to the COVID lockdown imposed by the governor of Washington. So this resulted in a rapid increase in boat activity after the governor's stay-at-home order was lifted in June of 2020. So this increase shows nearly double the boat occupancy presence than the previous year in 2019, which was considered to be pre-COVID by that time. Another interesting pattern that we see is an increase in off-season activity over the years. This steady increase is possibly due to more boats adopting AIS technology or an increase in boat ownership, or a bit of both. In regards to the AIS operation itself, there are several limitations as well as several benefits. One of the most striking, and in my opinion, one of the most likely that deters a lot of researchers from using AIS, is shown in Figure 3. This aerial image on the left was taken on Labor Day weekend in 2020 by Dr. Adam Summers, and the marine traffic is shown on the right for the same time. I will save you a lot of time in counting. There are about 73 boats in the image on the left, and there's about 18 boats on the right. So this is showing you only about 25% of vessels were captured using AIS. This is kind of displaying this idea of incomplete coverage. So not all vessels are equipped with AIS, especially a lot of smaller recreational boats and dinghies. Another limitation that was brought to our attention from Jeff Dwyer, who has been a lifelong boater, is this idea of inconsistent usage. So boats have the ability to turn their AIS on and off, and many will turn their AIS off when they're anchored in order to conserve battery. Now, there's a lot of benefits as well that come with using AIS. AIS enables tracking vessel AIS enables you to track vessel movements over extended periods of time, revealing trends and seasonal variations, some of which you were just able to see. AIS is also more affordable than methods like aerial surveys, and at times it can also be a lot less time consuming than doing manual direct counts. AIS also provides really rich data with detailed vessel info for not only identifying patterns in traffic, but also to do a much richer assessment in terms of ecosystem impact. Lummi elder Tim Ballou highlighted the interconnectedness of the Salish Sea with the Lummi tribe in Washington and the cultural significance that the water holds, not only as a source of sustenance for them, but also in terms of spirituality. This highlighted the role that we all must play as environmental stewards to protect the land that is currently declining. This project provides valuable insights into boating behavior, which can inform marine management and conservation efforts in order to protect not only the Salish Sea, but seas worldwide. By identifying patterns in vessel movements, including seasonal trends and the effects from the COVID-19 restrictions, this research can help protect vulnerable ecosystems such as eelgrass beds and other submerged habitats. Now, it's important to protect eelgrass because it provides habitats for many animals, including salmon and halibut, as well as the Dungeness crab. Eelgrass also helps improve the water quality by absorbing pollutants. It can also sequester carbon dioxide, provide natural buffers against coastal storms, protecting and stabilizing shorelines from erosions and storm surges. Our findings could also shape policies aimed at reducing environmental impacts, ensuring sustainable boating practices, and enhancing marine resource management. I wanted to take this final opportunity to thank my site supervisors and my faculty advisor for their guidance and their patience, as well as my family and friends for their never-ending support. And I'm also extremely grateful for Tim Below and Jeff Dwyer for taking the time to talk to me and for all of their insights that helped make my project what it is today. Thank you so much. Have a great day.